Hey friends, CamiBaker.com here. Want to talk about a fun topic that came up a lot today with one of my new clients about the mask that we all wear. So I have to hold up my book. One of my mentors is always holding his book up. Christopher Kai is known as the Billionaire Networker by Forbes magazine, and you do not see him unless he has his book held up. So I'm going to hold mine up all the time too. I'm so proud. And I'm actually going to use this as a prop for my mask because I don't have one yet. But I was actually thinking today when I was working with my new client about how much fun it would be at my networking events when I am hosting them. Not so much when I'm invited to come talk to other people's groups, but when I'm doing my own meetups and my own events, actually handing out masks at the door and having people wear a mask just for a few minutes at the beginning and then having a whole process and having them take them off. Because in life, people are going around and they're holding their mask up. I'll do it this way. They hold their mask up and people say, "How are you?" "I'm fine." "How are you?" "Are you?" "I'm fine." You know, and they've got this big mask up and you can feel the shield, the barrier that people have up about wanting to look a certain way and wanting to be judged and fear of rejection and all that. You know, I say all the time when we're out networking, or as I like to call it, creating a NetWeb, that you don't find blue marlins, which would be, you know, your ideal client, the really substantial client. You don't find blue marlins in fish bowls. And today I was calling it the fish bowl of fear. So if you're going to events just because they're free, just because they're convenient, just because there's free pizza, you're basically hanging out in a fish bowl. And, you know, whether we're in a fish bowl of fear, we are at an event. I mean, I've been to some events that are full of hundreds of coaches and authors, and even everybody's walking around with their mask on, with their shield up, with their facade, right? So how can we get past that facade and let people see who we are? My new client, I won't share his name just yet. He's a little shy at the moment, but he will be coming out and playing with us a little bit. He and I were talking about, you know, we've been taught, or maybe not even taught, but just took on the feeling of needing self, of needing to weigh or fit into what we should be like, you know. And we go into these events and we've got our handshake and we've got our 30-second way of being. But the fact is, today's economy, today's world, today's vibe is all about being. It's all about letting people see who you really are. It's about sharing your story in genuine. When I go into events now, I'm very clear that it's really important for me to share with people. Listen, 17 years was laying on a couch at 9 o'clock in the morning, watching Jerry Springer book party and basically wanting to commit suicide and hating life. And the only reason I didn't do it was because my precious little girl would have grown up without a mommy, wondering what was so wrong with her that mommy didn't want to live. And so, you know, if I can go from that level of desperation and misery and decline and into the self-loathing, if I can go from that to digging myself out of there and now live and hopefully inspiring and motivating some other people to change their circumstance and change their playgrounds and playmates. If I can do it, then anybody can do it. And it'd be real easy for me to put on some makeup and put on a really nice suit and just stand there and talk about how great these tips are and you should buy my book and not be genuine. But we have to be able to, I used to call it throwing myself under the bus. That's what we used to say in network marketing in my team. we have to throw ourselves under the bus so that people can relate. But that's a negative term. It's not that I'm throwing myself under the bus. It's that I'm being relatable. It's that I'm being honest. And it's that I'm telling people, hey, listen, I believe you me. Go 24 hours a day and wanting to die, to getting sober, to going into this career, to going into that career, to being able to reposition myself from being seen as HGTV expert, house hunters, Remax, blah, 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 into this genre and that genre, and now what I'm doing here. Anybody can do it. And ways that I've been able to do it is because that mask that we all carry, that mask that we are hiding who we really are, get rid of that mask a long, long time ago. It is when we are so worried about what other people think about me is none of my business. It is none of my business. And when we can stop being so worried about what other people think, am I going to fit in? Do they like me? Et cetera, down. We are a lot better off, a lot better bridge the humanity as a human being and want to be able to relate. As some of you know, about a month ago, I had quite a bit of a personal breakdown, and I shared it right on Facebook Live. And some people would say that was a bad thing, but most people supported me in it and really were appreciative that I shared something so personal in my life so that they could relate. And my God, there were so many women that I didn't know that were reaching out saying, wow, that happened to me too, and I can really relate to that. And thank you for sharing, Cami. So many people need to know about that. In other words, even that little breakdown that I had was a breakthrough and helped me to relate to even more people on a different level. And I've come out the other side an even better person, because when we can see a breakdown as a breakthrough, when we can see a setback as a setup for success, I got a million of them. I've heard them all just like you have. But when we can really take the mask off and say, listen, I'm hurting right now. This is who I really am, and I'm a human being, then it helps people to relate to us. And, I'm always talking about packaging and posturing and positioning and presence and who you're being. And we do want to keep a good solid sense of who we are. We don't want to be talking about a whole lot of politics or religion or controversy or anything negative or nasty in general in our Facebook, or if we're at a networking event or emails that we're sending out. We always want to have a positive flair. But we're human beings, and we want to keep it real. We want to keep on keeping it real and let people see who we really are. So the message today is, are you wearing a mask? Because 99% of people are, and we all in general tend to wear one at some time or another. And it's just something that society has taught us to do. As women, we wear a mask of I can do it better than any man can, or I don't need your help, or men go around wearing a mask that they are the provider and they are strong and independent and they don't have to show any emotion, and real men don't cry, and just all those different masks that we wear. And I think it'll be so much fun at the events that I do. I don't know if I'm going to get like little Mardi Gras masks or like real full masks, maybe ones that you hold on a stick. But I can just imagine that when I do this exercise, that there'll come a point where we will take the masks off, and I'll ask people in the room, what was their experience with wearing the mask and taking it off? And I already know that some people are going to say, phew, I'm so glad to get that thing off. Now I can actually be myself, and I can breathe, and I feel free. Some people are going to say, I enjoyed having the mask on because I could hide and I didn't have to worry about people knowing who I was, and I could actually be much more outgoing because I could let go and not be worried about what I look like. And nothing is right or wrong about it. It will just be interesting to see how people's reactions are to that. Because isn't it true that sometimes to take the mask off and to be able to be genuine and real and do these Facebook Lives with no script, with no teleprompter, just me and the camera. It is so freeing for me to take that mask off and to even cry sometimes. For other people, they're going to say, you know what, I really like having that mask on because then people couldn't really see me and I could hide behind it. You know, are those the people that when they're at the networking events are carrying that around and we really don't get to know who they are, and that's why they're not doing as much business as they could be because they're too busy pretending to be somebody that. So that's my fun little message today. So just wanted to also let you know, my publisher told me today that the book, the case of books has been shipped. So I'm super excited. I've already got a bunch of envelopes that I've already got addressed to send to some people. And I can't wait to autograph my books and put some free little freebies in there, and put my speaker packet in there so that people can see, you know, all the things that I speak about and what my programs are, and just have some fun with that. So if you are wanting to get in on the free, remember, we're also going to do Ditch the Pitch. Ditch the pitch is dead. Ding dong, the pitch is dead. Wicked pitch, the 30-second pitch. Ding dong, the wicked pitch is dead. See, you got to take your mask off. Be okay with being real. So we're going to be doing that as a bonus session. I'm going to do a Zoominar in the next week or so through how to answer the question, what do you do? And how to stop asking the question, what do you do? And how to tailor what you say to that question so that it's not the same boring 30-second elevator pitch every time. And when you buy a book and you are wanting to step into mingling to millions and learning the art and science of building business relationships and mastering referrals, you will be part of that bonus session, because that'll be a lot of fun. So, are you wearing a mask? Does the mask make you feel comfortable because you can hide? Does the mask make you feel like you're smothering and can't breathe? Because most of us are wearing a mask. It's just a matter of take it off or not. So that's my Facebook Live for today. Talk to you guys later.